It's Exodus chapter 1. The king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, whose names were Shiphrah and Puah, when you are helping the Hebrew women during childbirth on the delivery stool, if you see that the baby is a boy, kill him. But if it is a girl, let her live. The midwives, however, feared God and did not do what the king of Egypt had told them to do. They let the boys live. Then the king of Egypt summoned the midwives and asked them, "Why have you done this? Why have you let the boys live?" The midwives answered Pharaoh, "Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They are vigorous, and give birth before the midwives arrive." So God was kind to the midwives, and the people increased and became even more numerous. And because the midwives feared God, he gave them families of their own. Yeah. So what I see here is that it was still possible to kill children even without the technology that we have today. People were still willing to do that sort of thing and to commit the evil schemes that God hates, that Doyle was describing. But because these midwives feared God, they didn't do what they had told them to do, and they let the boys live, however it is they needed to do that. And there's a good what's the word? There's a good outcome to us fearing God, and you can see one here. God is kind, and that's not a fruit of the Spirit, but it is. It's part of joy, part of love. Love is patient, kind. God bears that fruit to you, or when you are fearing Him, and because of that, He blesses you with even more of something. And because these midwives feared God, He gave them families of their own. Praise God.
In Matthew, I think it was Matthew, Jesus said, "Don't fear man, who can only destroy the body, and then once the body is destroyed, there's nothing else he can do. But fear God, who can destroy the body and soul in hell." And these midwives had that kind of faith, right? They had that same kind of faith, and that just kind of reminded me of that verse. Pharaoh was probably the most powerful king in the land at that time. I think Egypt was so great faith.
I like that word, Lauren, that you just mentioned, that faith. That was faith without works is dead.
Right.
Boy, did they exhibit a tremendous amount. Think of the pressure that those women were under.
Right.
And yet they did what they did. And that's just wonderful to see in the Old Testament, the kind of faith that these Old Testament saints did.
Right. Even before the 10 Commandments.
Right.